Quickly, some of the biopsychosocial factors. Let's start with the biological. Most of you guys know what the frontal lobe's role is, especially in the developing adolescent brain. This list I like to show to teachers. I show to parents. This is a list of basically what the frontal lobes are kind of responsible for. That's an oversimplification, but it's good enough. And if I show this list to any faculty, if I show this list to any group of teachers, they're going to tell me that's what's wrong with kids these days. If I gave parents a magic wand or teachers a magic wand, I said you could change whatever you want about your classroom, about your family or your kids, they're probably going to change one, two, or all of the things on this list. When you look at the reasons why kids get into trouble, it's usually based on one of the things on that list. So if those things are so important and kids have some difficulty with a lot of these things, that creates, I think, two important things to take away. One is that kids are going to do really stupid, dangerous, inappropriate things. And two is it's very tricky about assigning blame, particularly from a counseling perspective. Right? And especially when we talk about first-time offenders and some kid just did something uncharacteristic, but really, really stupid, really, really inappropriate, and we throw the book at them, that may not always be appropriate. Now, that's from an administrative standpoint, and in some ways that's okay. You know, whatever the violation is, you know, the punishment should fit the crime. But in terms of us working with the child, we don't want to give them excuses, but at the same time, we don't want to pathologize them into, you know, even if it's just in our own brains thinking that, you know, this kid's a budding little sociopath or this kid is, you know, a manipulative little liar. They may just be a normal kid who's, you know, because of where they are in brain development, they just didn't foresee the consequences, or they couldn't put themselves in somebody else's position. Now, this doesn't mean that your frontal lobes are absent, or that the function isn't there. It just means it's developing, and the more that we're working on it, the more we're actually developing those abilities. So when it comes to counseling kids, especially bullies or victims, you know, their brains are changing, and we can be a positive impact on that growth, with the growth in terms of the connection between the frontal lobes and the rest of the brain.